Good afternoon, everyone. I hope your Sunday is going well so far. Today is March 23rd. So this reading will be for the collective for the 23rd through the 29th. And this past week wasn't quite as bad on a emotional level, I would say. I learned a new technique to help calm my nervous system down. So thank you to my business coach for giving me the idea. And then, of course, Spirit expanded on it, which was even better. But I want to welcome you back to our weekly gathering where we kind of look at the energies for the whole planet, because we are all connected. And what happens to one trickles down and happens to all. So that's why it's always so important to love yourself and then allow that love to spread out to those around you. Because eventually it will circle the whole planet. And then you stay grounded in Mother Earth and still stay connected to Spirit, your guides, your angels, the ascended masters, source itself, whoever it is that you connect to on a spiritual level. And it's always very important that we do stay connected to our higher selves while we ground in Mother Earth. Otherwise, it may be just pure chaos, and we have enough of that as it is. We don't need any more. So to this week, I asked again which of the decks we were going to use and came back with the messages. What's it say? Messages from the spirits of nature. So we're going to be using that one again this week. I've already cleared the cards, saged them, and also put them through Palo Santo to help clear the energy. So we always start with a fresh energy in the deck. And oops, already one wants to fly out and jump. Funny. Okay. So we have our first jumper. Apparently, Spirit is going to have a lot to say for this coming week. We have also gone into through the spring equinox, so you're probably feeling those energies. We're also in Mercury retrograde, which I'm sure if you're in tune have been feeling. I know my computer has been feeling it a lot. It's been acting up and doesn't want to work half the time. So it's just, you bless it, you deal with it, you send it love, and go on about your day. So for those of you who are new to the channel, I welcome you. For those that have been here for a while, I welcome you back. I'm Reverend Dr. Elena Skyhawk, and I am a doctor of metaphysical sciences and a metaphysical minister, as well as being a healer and author and all kinds of other things that I have done, do, and will be doing. But Spirit had guided me at the beginning of the year, actually last year, to start doing these readings. Oh, we have a second jumper. Yes, I think Spirit has a lot to say this week. And I just didn't really get into it that much. I did a few and then kind of, So they were pushing again toward the end of the year. You really need to start doing this and doing it on a weekly basis. So now every week on Sundays, I come in and do these videos for the collective to see where everybody is at, what we can look forward to energetically for the next week. So we can kind of plan our week ahead to see if there's anything that we really need to pay attention to, anything we need to know, and just kind of like what's going on out there. And of course, if you watch the news, you kind of know what's going on. It's crazy times. But as Archangel Michael keeps reminding me, we are here as light workers. We're here to hold the light. There are others that are here to do cleanup, mop up, and get rid of the darkness. It is like my job and my team's job was to put the pillars of light down for everybody else to do their job. And now we're holding the light and shining it as brightly into all the darkness that we possibly can to uproot it so it's found and eradicated off the planet. And it is working, which I am very happy to see. So let me get the other jumper. It's all over the place. Okay. So then they still want me to pick 3 cards for everybody. So one more mix up here. And if you're new here and you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. It will inform you of when new videos are released. It doesn't cost you anything to do it, but it does help me to keep the channel going. The more subscribers I can get so that I can continue doing this. And so let's see here what we got. Interesting. Cool. Alrighty. So we're going to go through the 3 cards pulled first, and then we'll go into the jumper cards. Now, these are kind of cool cards. Oh, I like that one. So the first card is the cicada. Your voice. Got a lot of pretty colors in it. And they're also very noisy. If you don't know what they are, they do make a lot of noise when they rub those feet together. The second card is the eagle. I think we got that last week. And that says vision. And the third card is kind of cool. I haven't seen this one before. Is the cave. And it says initiation. So we'll see how those come together. The 2 jumpers, the first one was the volcano. Release. I've been being told that a lot. Release, relax, allow, breathe. And the second jumper was the ocean, which is all about waves. And we can make a lot of waves with our voices. See how they fix this all together. I love it. So let's see what the cicada has to say. If I can find it. Number 6. So the message of the cicada, and this is the card again, so we see what we're looking at. You have spent a lengthy period of time stoically quiet and subdued, keeping to yourself either out of necessity or a habitual reticence to express yourself. Now, however, you intuitively know that the time has come to allow your voice to emerge. This means to show up and speak your truth without shame, blame, or judgment of yourself or others, while remaining unattached to the outcome of doing so. As you enter this next era of your life, you will no doubt feel some fear and apprehension, but it's critically important for your soul's journey to express your thoughts and feelings. Speaking up will take some practice, courage, and the willingness to take risks with your self-expression. One way to build confidence in expressing yourself with your voice is to sing, such as in the shower, along with some of your favorite tunes by taking singing lessons or even just spontaneously bursting out with song, with or without others around. Confidence comes by taking risks, expressing yourself with your voice, and letting go of self-judgment about doing so. Now, when it comes to the voice and song, Spirit, especially with me, has a habit of I'll be singing a song as I wake up. So we know I was singing it in my sleep somewhere. And then I'll wake up singing the song, and then I can't get it out of my head. But when you look up the lyrics of the song that you're singing, there's usually a message in there. So again, pay attention to songs that pop up into your head over and over and over and over again, because there could be a hidden message within that song that Spirit is trying to get you to pay attention to. So that is using your voice. And especially in this time, this day and age, it's very important to speak your truth, to not be afraid, and to say how you feel, what you think. Whether it's right or wrong doesn't make any difference, because it's your opinion and you're entitled to your opinion. That free speech thing, we're all entitled to it. And we all need to be using it, as long as we do it out of love and compassion for our fellow human beings. You don't do it to deliberately harm somebody, because then you're creating a sin and you're going to have to pay the karma for it. So you got to be careful what you say, but you're still entitled to your voice, your opinion. The second card is the eagle. And the eagle's message: you're caught up in too many details of living, getting distracted easily due to the continual bouncing from one thing to the next. While it's necessary to attest to all these details, your habitual fragmented approach creates tension and anxiety. You feel overwhelmed and victimized by the number of responsibilities before you, and have lost perspective on what are the most important. Step back from your task for a moment and see the bigger picture. Pause, take a few slow, deep breaths, close your eyes, and identify what's truly important, that which has heart and meaning. Visualize these various items and how to best approach them. As you come to recognize what's truly significant, create an external expression of your goals and intentions with a written list or a vision board. Either will help you achieve greater perspective and focus. And when I read that message, to me, because I have a tendency to do a lot of this as well, and it comes back to what they call FOMO, the fear of missing out. So you start a project, you start something because it sounds very interesting. You're like, oh, I can do that. That sounds fun, da 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 da. But then somebody else comes along the next day and says, well, how about this? Why don't you do this? And so your energy is split because you want to do this and you're afraid if you don't do this one, you're going to miss out on something. But then somebody else comes up and gives you another one. So your energy is split in so many different directions that you get nothing done. So focus, get that vision back into focus and concentrate on the one thing that truly brings you joy. Because that's what it's about, love and joy. And if singing is part of that with your voice, you're even better off. So the cave is the third of the actual ones. Now this one I haven't seen before. This is a kind of a cool picture. And it's all about the initiation. So let's see what the cave has to say. Although at times you have felt overwhelmed by the darker period you have experienced recently, this very challenging cycle has created the opportunity to confront and embrace those inner demons, the shadowy elements in yourself that have been hiding behind the mask of your practice persona. The task of acknowledging these shadows without shame or self-criticism has continued throughout this period, and now you have a greater capacity to be aware of them and know that they are no longer hold power over you. Having met and overcome these darker forces, you are now emerging into the world of light, significantly changed. You have been rebirthed into another cycle of your life, one of even greater spiritual depth and conscious awareness. This initiation that you've gone through to this present phase has led you to a greater appreciation and awareness of how spirit operates. You know you are supported with an abundance of compassionate spirit guides, signs, and omens, and they are critically important in your renewed commitment to lead a spiritually directed life. This kind of sums up what we're going through right now. It's like bringing forth the darkness. And again, if you're triggered, like really triggered about what's going on, look within yourself and find out why. You know, if the lies bother you, find out why. Have you lied to yourself? Have you been lying to others? Have you been cheating yourself? Have you been cheating others? So always look to see what triggers you, because anything that's going on in the world is a reflection of what is going on within us. We are all connected. And the light is brought down to shine into the darkest recesses of our psyches to pull out the darkness and bring it into the light. And in this time, we're doing it as a collective. So everybody's darkness is coming out. But if it triggers you, look within yourself, find out why, and then heal it within yourself. And once you do that, you get to release it, which is the first card of the jumper cards. You release it with love back to the universe. And then that energy is transmuted and sent back to Mother Earth, where she uses it for her growth and her rebirthing process that she's going through. So do you see how we are all connected, how everything that you think and do affects the collective? So if you have a lot of darkness within you, for whatever reason, there's no judgment about it. We all have gone through it. We have all experienced it. But it's by letting go, it's by releasing it, by healing it within ourselves with love, that we bring more light into our own soul, which brings further spiritual awareness, spiritual growth, and then we can turn around and help the person coming up behind us and give them a helping hand and say, hey, I just went through the same thing. Now let me reach out a hand and help you get through it. That's what unity is about. That's what being a collective of love is about, is helping those around you. Somebody has already reached out a hand to you, so now it's your turn to do the favor and reach out a hand to the next person in line and help them up. So the first jumper card was the Volcano. Let me see if I can find it. What number is it? Number 40. The Volcano. Good old eruption there. What's it say again? Oh, yes, it's the release. So the message from the Volcano: you've been suppressing your emotions, and that has caused considerable inner turmoil. You see how all these cards kind of, when they're talking and they make a reading for everybody, it's amazing how they come up with how they all intertwine, even the jumpers. They come out for a reason. So at times you feel like exploding, but you hold yourself back for fear of losing control and possibly doing harm to yourself or others. Your childhood experiences have taught you that it was much safer to withhold your feelings, and at some point you made a promise to never lose your temper. In spite of an occasional outburst, you've done fairly well with this promise. However, that early decision to hold in your feelings has generated not just your anger, but also other emotions such as sadness, fear, and grief, as well as your joy. No matter what your emotions are, rather than pushing them down, learn to safely release and express them when they become apparent. Let the tears run down your cheeks. Express your anger with words. Allow laughter to erupt from your belly. Have an orgasm, either with a lover or by yourself, and enjoy the explosive release. Share your feelings with a trusted friend. Pay attention to how others express their feelings in a healthy way and model yourself after them. Keep a journal where you can express whatever you want. Suppressing your emotions not only contributes to your stress level, but may ultimately lead to physical illnesses. Releasing them gradually helps you let off steam and leave you relieved of some of your tension. I know this card very well. I used to hold my anger in a lot when I was a kid, teenager, and even in college. And then one person would set me off, and all that pent up rage and anger would come out. And it could have been very simple. They said something, they lied, because I have a very strong thing about people lying to me or anybody. And I would just go off on them. So when I turned and started learning more of the metaphysical practices and learned that it was me that needed to be fixed, not necessarily them, a lot of that anger finally disappeared. And it's not very often that I experience it anymore. But again, do it in a way that is safe for you to release your anger and your frustration, because it can also, like I said, lead to physical illnesses. You could end up having a stroke because you get so angry, it just poof, or a heart attack. So be very careful as you're releasing that anger, but find ways to release it. Go for a walk in nature. Go out and ask a tree if you can hug it and sit with it for a while and do what my mentor taught me. It's called a pain drain. And just open up the chakras in your hands. And you ask Mother Earth if she's willing to take your pain. And then you put your hands palm down to the earth and just allow those emotions, allow those feelings to drain. Cry, scream, whatever you need to do, but don't hold them in. And then when you're finished, thank Mother Earth for taking the energy, because she will transmute it into love and then spread it how she sees fit. But always make sure you give thanks to her before you leave. I've done that several times out in nature, just to go out and just release it. And when I came back, I had all kinds of birds and chipmunks and squirrels around me, so they can feel the energy and they receive the love coming back from the earth. They were receiving the love coming from the grandmother or the grandfather tree I was sitting on. So I was totally surrounded by all these birds and squirrels and chipmunks when I came back from my little journey of releasing all that frustration. So again, do the release, but do it with love. Because you don't want to keep that pent up anger within you, because it will destroy you. Been there, done that, don't want to go there again. So learn from somebody who's already experienced it and knows the damage that it can cause. Does it mean you don't have a right to get angry? No, you do. It's how you release it and handle it that matters. So the last card that jumped out was the ocean. All about waves. So the message from the ocean, there are rhythms and cycles to life's waves, running the gamut from gentle and steady to violent and turbulent. You successfully dealt with varying intensities of these cycles, physical, emotional, relational, and spiritual, through much of your life. Lately, however, you found yourself caught up in these waves, but hesitant to ride them. The more turbulent they've been, the more you found yourself struggling. It's like swimming against a very strong current. Not only does it require a lot more energy, but it's ultimately a strategy that is self-defeating. Although it can be challenging and at times frightening to do this, rather than fighting the waves, ride them out and see where they take you. With an open mind, open heart, and a trust that life knows what it's doing, even if you don't, you'll successfully ride these currents into calmer seas without getting seasick. Should you find yourself struggling to do so, call on Grandmother Ocean to restore your confidence in your abilities to manage the waves that are a natural part of the movement of life. So there you have it for this week of the 23rd through the 29th. We start with the cicada, which is all about using your voice, to the eagle and your vision. Pick one that brings you joy and happiness, instead of flying all over the place and then not getting anything done. The cave, initiation, Allow the darkness that's within you out. Don't be afraid of it. We all have it. But it's time to start healing it and letting it go so that we can move more fully into the light. Oops. Figure out which way I'm going here. Move more fully into the light and anchor our energy into spirit and to Mother Earth. Our first jumper card was the Volcano, which is all about release. So you release your negativity, you release anything that no longer serves you. Let it go. Relax, breathe, allow, and get rid of anything. Even if it's something in your life, you like doing clutter clearing. You have broken stuff. Oh, I'll just fix it someday. And then you keep collecting all this broken stuff and it never gets fixed. That's me. So I got rid of it all. Feel much better. And our last jumper card is the wave, the ocean, I mean. So ride the wave. Be that surfer that is so phenomenal that it gets up on top of that wave and rides it all the way to the shore. And see where life takes you. Don't be afraid to see what's on the other side of that wave. So that is the reading for this week. And I want to thank you for showing up every week. Next week will be the last reading that I do here in this apartment because we'll be on the road starting on April 1st. So I'm going to be doing something different and special. I was going to try to get it done and up and available this week, but I'm still waiting on one thing. So I will be adding a link next week to what I'm doing, but as a hint, it's on the road again. And for the time that I'm on the road, I'm actually going to open up space to do half-hour readings. So once I get it all set up and I have the link that people can sign up, and I'm waiting on the PayPal and Stripe links to come through. But that will be available starting next Sunday for the whole time that I'm on the road again. You'll be able to sign up or schedule a 30-minute reading, whether it's a channeled message or oracle cards, because by then I'll have some more of my oracle cards hopefully handy once I get back to my storage unit. And then we can go forward from there. But that should be available starting next Sunday, and I'll have the link below in the comments so that if you're interested in booking, it'll take you to the Calendly link, and you can fill it out then. Until next week, next Sunday, same bat channel, same batty person, same bat time. Have a wonderful week. Remember to stay grounded. Remember you do matter. Love yourself. Heal yourself. And then turn that love and healing outwards to the rest of the planet. So bye for now. Enjoy your week, and we'll talk soon.